Hi, so we're here in Schweinfurt, Germany, in SRAM headquarters with Flo, who's going to show us how to install the new Eagle 90 group set.
Hello, and nice to have you guys here. I will guide you through the process of the install of the new Eagle 90 group set. We already did some preparation here, so we installed the crankset and the cassette, as you can see. We did cut our chain, like mentioned in our app, and we already did set up the setup key on the derailleur to the right position. In this case, it's a B-bike, so we did a little preparation here. And now we go through the normal process. So we do 3 on 3. So we hang parts to our frame 3 times, and then we tighten them 3 times in a specific order. So pretty easy. We start with the derailleur. So we put in our bushing. This goes in from the outside with the neck, and then we hang in our derailleur and we start to tighten it till snug. Now it's snug, and then we go 1 full turn backwards.
Okay.
So the silver ring can move completely freely. Next component we hang into our frame is our rear wheel with the installed cassette. Just goes in. And then we do the same with the axle, like we did with our B-bolt on the derailleur. So we tighten to snug, and then 1 full turn.
Okay.
Open again. The last thing we hang in is our chain. And we put our derailleur in full lock mode. Makes it easier.
Yeah.
And it's a flat top chain, so the flat part, flat section to the top. Easy. All right, so 3 parts, derailleur, rear wheel with the cassette, and the chain is in the frame. And now we start to tighten it. We start with the easiest part, the power lock.
Okay.
So we put it in. It's also flat top, so careful with that. And then we close it. The next part we close is our B-bolt. That's the most crucial part of this, because it will define our B-gap in the end.
Right.
So we put our derailleur in the second lock position. That's important.
Okay.
On our Axis T-type derailleurs, they ship in the right gear. So it's easy because it has a gearbox in the end to hold it in gear. With the mechanical derailleur, it's harder because we have a cable which will hold it in the right gear.
Yes, we haven't installed that yet.
Yeah, that will be our last part, and now I can show you why. There's a little trick to this derailleur to put it in gear. So we want to go on the right gear, which will be the 7th gear in this case. So it's marked with the red ring, pretty easy. So what do? You put in a 4mm Allen key on the downside of the derailleur, and this will hold it in place. Okay. There's one addition. It will also fit a 5mm, which won't get, you can't put it as deep as a 4mm, because there's a little in cut into this. This is for bikes which will require a different setup, like to be set up in the 6th gear. That's one above the Mark 1. Okay. Just as I mentioned it will be displayed in the app. Pretty easy, but how to go there, how you get there. So for most bikes, we'll be using our 4mm Allen key, and it'll tell you in the app to set up on the 6th gear. But if we need to set up on a different gear, which tells us in the app, then that's the time for the 6mm Allen key. Spot on. Great. So we are in the right gear. So we put it up here. We pedal 1 time just to make sure that our chain is engaged all the way. Then we grab our torque meter and torque wrench, and we set it up to 35 Newton meters, like on our other Axis T-type derailleurs. We step behind the bike and we start to tighten this bolt while holding it, like holding the derailleur in place. All the way. The last thing we close is our axle, and we tighten it to the recommended torque. I'll keep it easy here. And that's it to the setup. Last part is the routing of the shift cable.
Right.
So you go in the full lock mode. The easiest way, careful not to pinch your fingers here, is to push the derailleur from the outside, remove this Allen key and just put it on the smallest cock here.
Right.
Then we get our shift cable and prepare it. And then we have our shifter here, and it's pretty easy to install.
Yeah.
You get in the most outboard gear, 12th gear.
Yeah, 12th.
And then there's a little hole here, so you just route this cable through the shifter, and it will come out the other side.
Yeah. Push it straight through, nice and easy.
Pretty easy. You don't have to remove any cap, so you can do it really fast. Then we install our end caps. So we recommend aluminium end caps, because they basically not deform, so you get a good shift feeling, crisp shifting.
Right.
So they are better than plastic.
Okay.
And then we route our shift cable all the way. Comes out. Tension it. Make sure it sits snug
Nice
in here.
Nice
and like the tensioning screw is all the way in. Okay. So afterwards we can tension it without like ending up at any limit.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're back at the derailleur. We route our shift cable through the little pulley wheel here. Tension it, and then there's a little shark fin down here, and there's a hole, so it's not just wrapping around.
Okay.
It has to go through the hole. That's important, and then it will come out this side.
Okay.
Then we need a Torx 25 and just tensioning down the shift cable. There's a little marking and line, and then we just tighten it. For now, for the install process, we just leave it like this, and we do the cutting at the end.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to do it. So we are now in the open ride mode again, and then we can start tensioning.
Yeah.
I can show it like this. So basically we are tensioning our shift cable.
Okay. Yeah, to pull it in.
Yeah. And then what you try is to shift inboard. So up the cassette.
Yeah.
So we pedal. And increasing the tension till it goes up all the way. And the same if it goes down all the way.
Nice.
Done.
That's
Fast
pretty
and easy.
Yeah.
Then we do the cutting. The easiest part here. So we cut it down here. Then there's a little end cap to this. And then we crimp it so we don't lose it. And then there's a little wedge down here. We push it in and it will just disappear.
Keeps it neatly out of the way.
Yeah, it's clean.
Yeah.
It's not as likely to lose it.
Yeah.
And we're done.
Great. So there we have it, the install of the new Eagle 90 drivetrain. Thank you, Flo.
Anytime.